Hi everyone, today I will be recording a voiceover of me taking you through social withdrawal in depressed adolescents and teenagers. So, major depression is one of the most common mental health disorders affecting adolescents, with approximately 20% of teens experiencing a depressive episode by the age of 17. Depression during adolescence often presents through social withdrawal, isolation, and difficulty engaging with peers or support systems. At this developmental stage, peer relationships and social belongings are extremely important, so experiences such as bullying, discrimination, family conflict, or emotional abuse can significantly impact mental health. Research also shows that LGBTQ youth and adolescents experiencing racial discrimination are at a higher risk for mental health challenges and suicidality. Environmental stressors contribute further to adolescent depression. Academic pressure, poverty, exposure to violence, concerns about school safety all increase emotional stress and vulnerability. In addition, social media and technology can intensify feelings of isolation through social comparison, cyberbullying, and constant exposure to unrealistic expectations. Because social withdrawal both results and reinforces depressive symptoms, interventions that promote connection and emotional expression and safe engagement become especially important to this population. Traditional talk therapy approaches sometimes can be challenging for adolescents who are withdrawn or struggling to verbalize their emotions. Many teens experiencing depression may present as passive, disengaged, or emotionally guarded within therapy. Drama therapy offers an alternative by incorporating embodiment, metaphor, movement, and creative expression. These approaches allow adolescents to explore emotions indirectly at a safer emotional distance. Group interaction also becomes important because it creates opportunities for witnessing, connection, and shared experiences which can directly counter the feelings of isolation. Just some points from the literature I found. Several reasons why drama therapy may be effective for adolescents experiencing depression and social withdrawal. Dramatic projection as a way of externalizing internal experiences through metaphor and embodiment and role. This can help adolescents safely engage with emotions that may otherwise feel overwhelming or difficult to express. Research also highlights the importance of play and improvisation in increasing social engagement and reducing ambiguity around interactions. Additionally, longitudinal research by Arslan and colleagues found that withdrawn and internalizing behavior is associated later with social difficulties, emphasizing the importance of early intervention and connection-focused approaches. So for my intervention, I developed an iceberg-based drama therapy activity designed for adolescents experiencing depression and social withdrawal. The iceberg metaphor represents the difference between what individuals show externally and what they may remain hidden internally. The goals of this session were to increase emotional awareness, encourage expression of difficult emotions, reduce feelings of isolation through shared group experiences, and I also wanted participants to explore the contrast of how they appear to others and what they are actually experiencing internally. So my intervention was a 3-part structure consisting of a warm-up, an enactment, and a closing phase. The warm-up we used was movement and some embodiment exercises to increase engagement and prepare participants emotionally and physically for the session. The enactment centered around around creating personal iceberg representations through movement, posture, and statue work. Finally, the session ended with a group grounding poses, reflection, and group witnessing to support connection and emotional containment. The rationale for this intervention comes from drama therapy concepts such as dramatic prediction and embodiment. Using metaphor allows participants to externalize internal experiences safely, while embodied and group-based work supports engagement and interpersonal connections. So now for this part, the reflections, I will go into individually.
When like I first started having like really bad like physical manifestations of my OCD symptoms, like there were days I could not move, could not get out of like fetal position after work, and like that was like one of the times that it felt the most physical in my body. Like I literally just felt like I locked up. So honestly, like yeah, the dark stuff, like some of the shit my OCD makes me come up with, it really does shut me down, and I just kind of
think like people call it like artist like hands or stuff. I have like weird bumps on these. Like when I'm like nervous, I either pick on these. Like it's kind of gross. Sorry. But like they don't like bleed or anything. I just like pick at them because they're just like my natural self. Yeah, I do a lot of like I don't know, but I like nail pick sometimes. And I like a lot of like I feel like they like inside of my palm. Like, I like with my nails aren't super long, but like enough where you can like feel like a little bit of like the nail, so something like that. I'm just like feeling some like sensation like when I'm really anxious. Yeah, a lot of this.
So for Chloe, I selected a point where she names a feeling last year that was really overwhelming for her to now be something, when she does it, it doesn't feel as scary for her, and she can really hold the weight of all of this past year for her and how far she's come. And I think this really allowed her to reflect on how strong she's been. I mean, this is also like, it does get kind of personal for her as well. She may have not kept the whole teenager acting bit contained, but that's okay. Because afterwards, when we were reflecting outside of the recording, she was saying that she could feel those feelings again, that fear that she had, that made her want to crawl up and withdraw. And when putting it on again, it was scary, yeah, but she also knew she could handle it. And that's something that last year she didn't think she could. So it was a really good reflective point for her, me as a friend and a pretend therapist. I was like, yeah. And then for Theo, also goes by Nick. He is Chloe's brother, and him and I are not as close as he's not my roommate, but he comes and visits pretty often, and he's actually quite quiet. He keeps to himself quite often. So this whole intervention was really nice just in general because I got to talk with him more, and he is very, again, quiet, not like super withdrawn, but he's got anxiety, like pretty badly, and his habits for dealing with that, he's never talked about with Chloe before. And so when we were doing it, when he opened up about that, it just felt like walls were coming down, and he was way more engaged, not just in the intervention, but also like with us. He's pretty quiet individually. And sorry, I might have gone too fast for you to see my references, but thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.